Today, the focus of our lesson is a review. I can answer short answer questions by using the RACE structure. When you have to answer questions that require specific textual evidence, using the RACE structure is perfect. The RACE structure ties in with what we know about ICE. So for fiction text, we were supporting analysis of text by using ICE. I equals inference, C equals cite textual evidence, E equals explain realization or new thinking. RACE, when answering short answer questions, use RACE. You can use this for fiction or nonfiction. Restate the question in sentence form is what R stands for. A stands for answer the question. Typically, the R and the A are in the same exact sentence. Followed by C, cite textual evidence. In 7th grade, we need to have 2 pieces of specific textual evidence. And then E, explain your evidence. So to begin, we're going to practice a quick review of RACE. Restate the question in sentence form. So the question is, what did John Lewis do or use to blend his 60s civil rights tactics into the modern day world? List 2 things and explain why they are effective. So first, to turn the question into a sentence, cross out the question word or phrase. Those question words typically are who, where, when, why, what, which, how, and then rewrite or reword in sentence form. So I crossed out what did, and now I have John Lewis used and to blend his 60s civil rights tactics into the modern day world. So I have my restated question in sentence form, and there are blanks there because that's going to be my answer. So answer the question. Typically, the restated question and the answer are in the same sentence. And the restated question in sentence form looks like this. John Lewis used and to blend his 60s civil rights tactics into the modern day world. Then next, we move on to citing textual evidence. In 7th grade, you need to have 2 pieces of specific textual evidence to prove the answer. So we start with R and A. It reads, John Lewis used comic books and social media to blend his 60s civil rights tactics into the modern day world. The next step is the first piece of textual evidence. And so I went directly to the articles that I've been reading about John Lewis and discovered a quote that proves that he uses comic books and social media to blend his 60s civil rights tactics. I used a nice transition phrase. This is one of my favorites. For example, John Lewis, quote, said that he hopes the comic will help young children understand what the civil rights movement was like and what they tried to do. He wants to make it feel real, quote. And then I have my in-text citation of the Washington Post. That's my first piece of textual evidence. My second piece of textual evidence is also a little bit of paraphrasing as well as a direct quote. And I like to use additionally or also as my next transition word or phrase to seamlessly move from one example to the next. Also, Lewis used the hashtag Good Trouble in order to share his experience staging a sit-in at the House of Representatives in order to force gun law revisions. Information about the sit-in, quote, spread rapidly on Twitter. The tweets praised the way Lewis and others blended new technology with nonviolent protest, quote, and then the publication with a period at the end, the in-text citation with a period at the end. Finally, E is really important because this just is your wrap-up sentence to remind your reader that you did prove your answer. This information proves that Lewis wants kids to learn about how others have worked hard to do the right thing, even though it might be hard. So next time you are asked to use the R.A.C.E structure to answer a short answer question. The restated question and sentence form and answer typically are in the same exact sentence, followed by 2 pieces of specific textual evidence. You may choose to paraphrase the evidence, or you may choose to use a direct quote. A direct quote requires an in-text citation. Finally, the wrap-up sentence: explain your evidence. Explain how your cited evidence proves the answer.